You are listening to the audio production of Songs of a Warrior, Saul and David, a retelling by Katy Morgan, published by Audiobooks. This book was originally published by the Good Book Company and is read by Lance Smith. The God of Israel spoke, the Rock of Israel said to me, "When one rules over people in righteousness, when he rules in the fear of God, he is like the light of morning at sunrise on a cloudless morning, like the brightness after rain that brings grass from the earth." 2 Samuel chapter 23, verses 3 and 4. Part 1. A King for All Israel. Chapter 1. The Boy with the Bow. There was a rock dove in the tree. It was plump and purplish and looking happily away into the distance. The boy on the ground beneath it was slowly raising his bow and carefully sliding an arrow out of his quiver. "Gently, Jonathan," he told himself, keeping his eyes fixed on the dove. He did feel a little sorry for it as it ruffled its feathers in a self-satisfied sort of way and clicked its beak. Poor silly bird. At least its last hour had been a happy one. The arrow was out. He notched its feathered end to the bowstring. Jonathan had made this bow himself, and it was a good one. It was small, just a hunting bow, not as big as the ones you'd use in battle. He had been practicing with his grandfather's old war bow, but he couldn't bend it far enough to shoot it. Not yet. But this one was just right. His feet were firm. His hands were steady. He closed one eye and drew the arrow back. Then, suddenly, the moment was lost. Somewhere behind Jonathan, a sheep bleated. All at once, the rock dove panicked and took off in a flurry of feathers. Not its last hour, after all. Jonathan groaned. Where had a sheep appeared from? Now he would have to go home empty-handed. He turned round. There were 3 of them, all craggy old ewes with soft muzzles and dirty fleeces. They looked at him indignantly, as if he had no right to be there. Jonathan looked at them back. "You're in my way. I'm not in yours," he said. He wondered who they belonged to. It would be odd to bring sheep into the woods deliberately. Had they got lost? They must have come up the hill. He'd better chase them back that way. He had time. His grandfather Kish had said they had to leave for Mizpah at noon, and judging by the sun, he wasn't late yet. His stomach squirmed. Today was the day. He'd been looking forward to the assembly at Mizpah for weeks, and now, at last, the day had come when— But Jonathan's thoughts were interrupted by a shout. Someone was calling out for help. Someone at the bottom of the hill beyond the edge of the wood. Without hesitating, Jonathan ran at the sheep, waving his bow in the air. Yah! They jerked back, then lowered their heads and thundered away downhill. One of them almost got caught by the lower branches of a thorn tree, but she shook herself loose and followed her companions. Jonathan followed too. His eyes took a moment to adjust to the sunlight as he left the wood, but soon he was watching the sheep race down to the valley bottom. And there was the boy who'd shouted. He was still shouting and waving frantically. He was about Jonathan's age, and he had 2 more sheep at his heels. What had happened? Jonathan set off running down the hill, sending small rocks tumbling as he did. He jumped from side to side to avoid them, took on speed, skidded down the last steep slope, and arrived at the bottom with a heaving chest and a wide grin on his face. He liked running. But the shepherd boy wasn't smiling. "Did you see them?" he said urgently. "Did you see where they went?" "Who? The sheep?" "The thieves!" The boy's dirty face was streaked with tears. "My master will kill me. They're all gone. Some men came and took them. I couldn't stop them, but I can't go home with just 5 sheep. "Don't worry," Jonathan interrupted gently. "Those 3 were up in the wood. Maybe others will have escaped as well. Is this the direction the thieves came in? How long ago did they take them?" "Not too long. Maybe half an hour ago." The boy was calming down. He focused on Jonathan, grasping his arm. "You're Kish's grandson, aren't you? Can you help me? I'm Oren. I'm only a shepherd, but—" His eyes were pleading and eager. "I'll help," Jonathan said. Then he hesitated, glancing up at the sky. "But I've got—"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?